post-game press conference of the Basketball Champions League game, ERA Nymburk versus Gaziantep. The final score was 74-72. For this part of the press conference, we have with us Gaziantep with the head coach NENAD MARKOVIĆ and also the player CRAWFORD. Please, Drew, could you tell us how did you see the game?
It was a game where they jumped out on us early. Early on in the game, we weren't playing at the level we needed to. We weren't playing tough the way we needed to. But the second half was a little bit different. We came out with better energy, better toughness, defensive intensity, and that led to good offense for us. So, it was a better second half. But at the end of the day, we need to make the plays to win close games like that, and we didn't do that at the end.
Thank you. Could you just tell us what did the coach tell you basically during the last time out in overtime?
Yeah. Well, we were looking to make switches on the before the inbounds, and Almeida got to his left hand, got to the rim, and we just failed to box out to get the rebound. But that's just a winning play that we need to make that we didn't.
Thank you. And please, Coach, could you tell us your statement about the game?
First of all, congratulations to Nymburk for the victory. I think it was a very tough game, second half especially. As Drew said, we didn't come out with enough defensive energy and enough decisions offensively. Even we had 6-7 wide open shots, we just didn't make them, and the obvious that the difference was there, but we kept them second half only in 24 points, which is very difficult because Nymburk is offensive team and they play very easy in the offense. Our defense was very good. We start getting confidence. We get a lot of steals. We get 21 points out of the turnovers from other team, and which was good. But in the end, even the regular part and this, we just needed 1-2 play to execute the game, and unfortunately we didn't do it. Our main guys get a little bit tired in the end, so we miss kind of decisions, and the game comes to the 1 point, 1 rebound. Okay, what to do?
One more question. You've mentioned it already, but is there anything else positive you can take from this game?
Yeah, for sure. We was not in the good momentum, and we have very difficult schedule in our league. The Fenerbahce, then Darüşşafaka, then Tofaş, all these 3 Eurocup teams, and it was kind of struggling, and we have a lot of ups and downs. But today, kind of second half, we play enough tough to bring the game back, and was 18 points for them. So this is positive for me. I think the guys reacted well. They played with the courage, with the character, and as I said, it was 1-2 decisions, 1-2 good shots in the end to win the game.
Cool. Thank you very much, guys. And the next part of the press conference is coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Safe travels.
Pretty much.
Cool. So welcome to the second part of the press conference. We have with us the head coach of ERA Nymburk, OREN AMIEL, and also the player Zach Hankins. Zach, how do you feel after the game?
A lot of emotions. You know, I missed 2 free throws to end the game in regulation, and that hit hard. I didn't foul when coach told me to foul, and I just didn't really think about the situation when they were up 3 and we could have forced a foul, which is a really smart move. But then, you know, being able to redeem myself a little bit and give back to my teammates after I was the one that made some mistakes was huge. And I mean, I was so proud of a lot of the guys that made huge shots. Bochy had a really hard night, and then he made a huge shot. You know, so a lot of different emotions.
What thoughts did you have after you missed those free throws? Because basically, like, some of the players could just, you know, go down and never come back.
In college, you know, I learned a phrase that was next play. We said next play, you know, and that can be a really hard thing to do sometimes when you're feeling really down or really happy about a play. But you got to do the next play. Basketball is a game of runs. It's a game of mistakes, but you got to be quick to turn it around. So I was just telling myself, next play, man, next play. We got overtime. We got overtime. We got overtime. There's a lot more. You know, there's more game to be played. So it's definitely a hard thing to do, though.
Could you tell us what exactly coach tell you during the last time out in overtime?
Yeah, there's you know, that whole game is a huge blur to me right now. I honestly couldn't tell you. I was paying attention very, very diligently during it, but right now I could not tell you. It was, you know, don't foul. We're about defense. Switch everything. You know, we need to stop.
Cool. Thank you very much. You're free to go if you want to.
Thank you.
Take care. And coach, now please, I would like to ask you for your statement after the game.
First of all, I give all the respect for Coach MARKOVIĆ and his team. I think we know they are in a bad momentum. 4 in a row they lost, and we always know when you're with your back to the wall, you find power and energy. You never know it's inside you, and they showed it, and they showed character, and so all the respect for them for not giving up and coming back to the game. I think for me, one of the worst 3.5 quarters we played for sure this season, but also for a long time. And that's also credit for them. They force us to play their style, which is more control, more long, and they win this battle. Okay, but in the end, you know, we make a lot of mistakes. I'm not going to review all these mistakes, but sometimes wins like this build something inside, and I hope it will carry us regarding this situation. So many mistakes end of the game. It's part of, you know, I don't like to say we are a young team, like I'm talking about the import guys, because they are professional basketball players, and we need to make better job end of the game.
Thank you. Could you tell us what do you think what actually happened during the second half? Because basically you were up by 20, and out of nowhere it was a draw. So how would you describe it?
Yeah, it's, you know, sometimes you don't you cannot point the right certain thing. It's a thing that leads to another thing, and it's become like a snowball, and you lose confidence suddenly. You know, momentum goes away from you. So, you know, obviously all of us made mistakes, also us on the bench and also on the court. But again, you know, in the end, we have a long roster, a lot of players. Everybody can play. In every night, everybody can play and everybody contribute. For example, tonight, we had the boost from Pumperla, from Pampi. You know, in the end of the game, he was set on the bench the whole game, waiting. You know, lead by example as a captain. And when I called him, he was there for us. You know, he was there for us, and he was huge in the last 5 minutes and the overtime. So this is about to be a team, and you know, we just started. I mean, happy for the win, lots of work. We move on.
Thank you. Basically, the Gaziantep was the first team who gave you like a strong competition. Would you like to play more games like that?
I want to control what I can control. I cannot control our opponents. I cannot control other situations. We need to control the philosophy of the way we play and the identity we have in the team, and to improve that. Other than that, I have nothing to say. It's about us first of all.
Cool. Thank you very much and congratulations.
No
Good
and
night,
thanks again
everyone.
for the atmosphere. Amazing. Thanks for all the fans. It was amazing.
I'll tell them. Thank you. Congratulations.
You go one by one.
I will. Take care. Good night, everyone.
Ciao. Thanks. You made me talk so much.
Yeah.
Usually I expect